This Friday, May 17th, MLB Betting Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is offering plenty of markets for PGA Championship that you can't find anywhere else. Sign up with promo code MLB SGPN to claim your special pick, plus first-time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Make sure you use that promo code MLB SGPN. Welcome, everyone, to the MLB Gambling Podcast, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. It's Thursday, May the 16th, here to get into the betting card for Friday on the Diamond. We got about 12 games of the 15 with betting lines and confirmed pitchers. We'll get to those 12 games, of course. But joining me here to help me break everything down on the Diamond, I got my guy here with me. It's Dylan Rockford. D-Rock, what's going on, my man? How you doing?
What's going on, Munaf? Good to be with you. Started off the day with a winner. Yankees take care of business on the road. First team to 30 wins in the American League. They're rolling right now.
Yeah, I know. I think the Phillies are the first one to 30 in the National League.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Yankees are rolling right now, man. They're playing some good baseball. Juan Soto's been looking really good. Aaron Judge finally started to get going here for the for the New York Yankees as well. And they take a 1-game lead over the Baltimore Orioles in that AL East division right now. So yeah, if you're a Yankees fan, you're definitely excited for the way your team has been playing baseball, at least during the regular season. Brand new series starting here on Friday in the MLB. Should be exciting weekend of baseball. I know NHL playoffs are winding down as well. Of course, NBA playoffs as well, but we got spring football, NFL win totals, and all that good stuff going on as well. It's a good reminder also this week that the WNBA season tipped off as well. And if you're looking for winners and more winners, make sure you guys get over to the WNBA Gambling Podcast. And also, we're running a mega Memorial Day merch sale, 15% off of everything in the merch store. Make sure you use that promo code SGPN Again, make sure you guys go to the merch store.sportsgamblingpodcast.com. Make sure you use that promo code SGPN for 15% off of everything in the merch store. D-Rock, let's get into it, man. We got a early afternoon game on Friday, as we usually do. That's going to be at Wrigley Field. We've got the Pirates and the Cubbies. Paul Skeens on the mound here for the Pittsburgh Pirates, and I believe it is Kyle Hendricks getting the start here for the Chicago Cubbies. Cubbies are a slight home favorite right now, minus 112 on the money line, minus 104 for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I do see a total of 8 posted right now on FanDuel for this game. Usually, they usually wait for the wind direction, but we do have the confirmed pitchers and lines currently over on FanDuel for this game. Did see Paul Skeens make his first start for the Pittsburgh Pirates in his last start. I think he struck out the first 2 batters, if I'm not mistaken, in his start there. At least got the first one. I know that's for sure because I tuned into that game. But Pirates were a team that got off to an absolute fantastic start. I've been going in the opposite direction since then. But Skeens in his first start, coincidentally, was against his Cubs team. 4 innings, 6 hits. He allowed 3 earned runs. Did have 7 strikeouts in that game. Did have 2 walks, but now he gets his, I guess, quote unquote, revenge against his Cubs team. The Pirates did win that game, 10-9. Did go over the total. So this will be a second start for him. Kyle Hendricks on the mound, like I mentioned, for the Chicago Cubbies on the season. 0-3 with a 10.04 ERA. He also did make a start against the Pirates on Sunday, where he had an absolutely brilliant outing, probably his best of the season by far. 5 innings, he only allowed 1 earned run, 2 hits. 1 was with a solo home run. Walks continue to be an issue for Kyle Hendricks. I think that's the scary part for me. 4 walks in that game, 5 strikeouts. Again, depending on which way the wind is blowing in this game, I would expect to see runs being put up. Again, make sure you guys check that win. But again, I can't get behind Kyle Hendricks right now. The way he's pitching, even though he's coming off a great outing against the Pirates. But even that game produced 9 runs for the Chicago Cubs and the Pirates, and I don't trust that Cubs bullpen either. So we'll see what we get out of Paul Skeens in the second start here. Like I mentioned, 3 earned runs in 4 innings there. Did have 7 strikeouts, but I would look at the over 8 in this game here. D-Rock, what do you got for Cubs and Pirates?
Yeah, I'm going to lean with the Buccos here on the road. My numbers made him a -110 favorite with Paul Skeens on the mound. As much as I do like Kyle Hendricks, he's just not backable at this point, home or on the road. Like you mentioned, he did have a nice start against the Pirates in his last outing, but that's literally been his only good start this season. Outside of that, he's given up 4+ runs in 5 straight games. He's given up a home run in every start as well. I can't back him right now or the Cubs in this spot. I like what I saw from Paul Skeens in his first start. The control was a little inconsistent from time to time, but, I do think it was a little the adrenaline pumping in his first start. I think he'll be fine here. I'm going to back the Buccos here. Maybe first 5 I like him, but I'm going to take him full game. I agree with the over as well. He got only 5-mile-an-hour winds blowing out tomorrow, but I made my total 8.9, so I do like the over 8 as well.
All right. Let's get over to the next game on the Friday card. That is going to be, let me pull up the schedule and the lines here again. We've got the Washington Nationals. They are headed to the city of brotherly love to take on the red hot Phillies. I am currently seeing it will be Jake Irvin getting the start here for the Nationals and Zach Wheeler on the mound here for the Philadelphia Phillies. Currently, as it stands, Dylan, the Phillies are a -265 home favorite, +215 on the money line for the Nationals. Total is set at 7.5 in this game here. D-Rock, what do you got for Phillies and Nationals?
Yeah, I'm going to attack the total here and go over 7.5 at -102. I feel like the number is really short. I made my total 8.6. To be honest, with the way the Phillies have been swinging the bat, they might hit the over by themselves. They're averaging around 6.6 runs per game this past week. So we only need a few runs from the Nationals. I think we could get there. Wheeler just had his worst start of the year in his last start, and it was against the Marlins of all teams. So the Nationals, they are much better than the Fish. They don't strike out a lot. They're disciplined at the plate. They're aggressive on the base paths as well. We got winds blowing out to center field, so I don't trust this Phillies bullpen either. So even if Zach Wheeler does go well, I do think the bullpen can give up a few runs. The over at Citizens Bank Park has cashed a lot, 13-9 on the season. So I think it continues. So I'm going to be on the over 7.5 here.
Last season, shockingly, Zach Wheeler really struggled against the Nationals. He made 4 starts against them in the 2023 season, 1-1 with a 7.48 ERA in those 4 starts against the Nationals. He allowed at least 3 earned runs in every single one of those starts. He allowed at least 4 earned runs in 3 out of the 4 starts. And like you mentioned, he's coming off of the worst start of the season by far against the Marlins. So maybe was it a one-off start, a disaster start for him? Possibly. I don't know, that history against the Nationals does kind of make me nervous. But he also mentioned Jake Irvin. He also did face his Phillies team earlier this season. In 6 innings, he allowed 5 hits, 4 earned runs. Did give up a home run in that game as well to the Phillies. So I think I'm with you here, man. I like the over in this game. That history against the Nationals, again, is a little concerning for me to back Wheeler, because Wheeler, anytime I've backed Wheeler, I didn't back him in the last start against the Marlins, but prior to that, the run line was really profitable for me when Zach Wheeler was styling against any team, and frankly, prior to the game against the Marlins. So, yeah, I like your call about the over 7.5 in this game. I feel like this number is a little bit conservative just because Zach Wheeler is on the mound here for the Phillies. All right, let's get over to the next game on the schedule. We'll go over to the Chicago White Sox. They are headed to Yankee Stadium to take on the Yankees. Currently seeing, let's see who's starting for this game. Mike Clevenger on the mound here for the Chicago White Sox. It'll be nasty Nestor Cortez getting the start here for the New York Yankees. Yankees are a -258 home favorite, +210 on the money line for the Chicago White Sox. Total is set at 8.5 in this game here. D-Rock, what do you got for Yankees White Sox?
Yeah, another total. It's been on the rise. I got the early number at 7.5. I paid a little chalk. It was at -122. I made my total 8.4. So around 8.5 now. I think we're getting to that number. White Sox, they've actually been playing a little better, 6-4 straight up in their last 10. They've been able to score some runs, and now against Nestor Cortez, who's allowed 2+ runs in 4 straight starts, I think they'll be able to score at least 3-4 runs here. And with the way the Yankees have been playing, we talked about it before we went live. The way they're swinging the bat, Aaron Judge is finding his swing. Juan Soto, he's been phenomenal all year. So I think they could take care of the rest. They're averaging around 5 runs per game in their past 5. They won again today, 5-0 against the Twins. They're averaging around 5 runs per game. And against Mike Clevenger, who couldn't even get out of the second inning on the road in his last start, I just think this is a bad start. I think we see runs in this game as well. So I'm going to go in another total. Give me the over.
Yeah, Clevenger, that first start he had against the Tampa Bay Rays, 2 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs overall. He gave up 4 runs, did have 4 walks in that game. Bounced back against the Guardians in a pretty good game, 4 2/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run he gave up, and 5 strikeouts. But like you mentioned, right, the Yankees are just playing some really good baseball right now. And when you have Aaron Judge that's producing for your lineup, that's only obviously going to be beneficial for this team that already, consists of a guy like Juan Soto in that lineup. So, yeah, I would look at the Yankees run line here. I think let's get lit up in this game. If you want to look at a Yankees team total within the first 5 innings or full game, I couldn't talk you off of that either. But I do think the Yankees take care of business in this series against the Chicago. Getting over to the next game on the schedule, 7:10 Eastern start. The New York Mets, they are headed to South Beach to take on the Miami Marlins. I am currently seeing that the Mets are starting Christian Scott and Luzardo for the Miami Marlins. Lines for this game, -122 in favor of the New York Mets, +102 on the money line for the Marlins. Total is 7.5 in this game. Here, I'll start here with Christian Scott for the New York Mets. In 0-1, but he does have a 2 ERA coming off of 2 pretty good starts, I would say. I know he gave up 3 earned runs in 6 innings against Atlanta Braves, but he just hasn't gotten the run support for the Mets or from the Mets bats in the 2 starts that he has made thus far this season. Combined 2 runs that the Mets have given support to Christian Scott. 1 run each they've scored in his 2 starts, but overall has been pretty good. 14 strikeouts as well, 3 walks issued as well, but he's been going pretty well for this Mets lineup, or pitching rotation, I should say. On the other side, Jesus Luzardo on the season, 0-3 with a 5.97 ERA. Walks are a huge concern for Jesus Luzardo. And I think that's what the part that makes me nervous. But I think that for the Marlins, I mean, this is a team I just really can't trust, honestly. And I know D-Rock, you'll expand more on the Marlins here, where, once I'm done with my handicap here. But I think that if they're able to get the run support here, if we're making look at a strikeout prop for Christian Scott, I couldn't talk you off of that. But I would be on the Mets here, -122 here. D-Rock, what do you got?
Yeah, I don't know, Munaf. My numbers are telling me to take the Mets. They made them a -125 favorite, but they're just playing so poorly right now. Yesterday against the Phillies was atrocious. It was like watching Little League baseball, but I feel like even the Marlins are playing better baseball than the Mets right now. I do like the prospect Christian Scott. He hasn't gotten a win yet, but he has been able to give the Mets good length. He's gone over his out prop in both of his starts as well. So honestly, I agree. I think a strikeout prop, maybe even taking an out prop, as long as we're able to get 17, maybe 18, I think that should hit. So maybe looking towards an out prop. He's gotten 6 innings in both starts, a lot of ground balls. I just trust him to give us outs instead of the Mets to give us runs. So they haven't been able to give him any run support in both games. I'm probably going to be on an out prop or a strikeout prop. That's a good look by you. So I'm going to probably be on Christian Scott. I do like him, but the Mets just can't give him any run support.
Yeah, and I think that's the part that does make me nervous. For the Mets here, like you mentioned, they haven't been playing very good baseball right now either. Having a little connection issue with my internet right now because I can't get that signal here, but hopefully I can get that fixed here momentarily. But before we get over to some more games here on the Friday card, let me tell everyone about the new sponsor Over on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, that is going to be Naira Bets. Bet the second jewel of the Triple Crown this weekend with Naira Bets. Sign up today for a $200 bonus deposit using promo code SGPN200. Join now to claim your $200 deposit bonus just in time for the Preakness at nairabets.com/SGPN200. Gear up for Black Eyed Susan Day at Blimco and boost your Preakness bankroll with Naira Bets. Opt in and bet at least $150 each on Belmont at the Big A and Plimco on Friday for a $30 bonus, win or lose. Earn more on the Preakness Stakes. Bet at least $200 each on Belmont at the Big A and Plimco for a $40 bonus, win or lose. Opt in to win at nairabets.com. That's not all. Score big with a 20% bonus on your ticket winnings by hitting an exacta on any or all races at Belmont at the Big A on Sunday. Get in and get your boost and your bonuses at nairabets.com/SGPN200. Again, that's nyrabets.com/SGPN200. And we're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. The NBA playoffs are officially here. Now, our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Play their pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and so much more. Make entries of all basketball or mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's tons of fun. Underdog will also be running a ton of different promos, bonus cash airdrop specials, giveaways, and more throughout the NBA playoffs. So make sure to follow at Underdog Picks on Twitter to keep an eye out. Underdog is available in 30 plus states, including California, Texas, and Canada. They also just launched Champions, their player versus player format in Florida. Sign up with promo code MLB SGPN to claim your special pick and a first-time bonus offer up to $250 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com. Make sure you use that promo code MLB SGPN. All right, let's keep it rolling here. We'll get over to the next game on the schedule. Let's go over to the game between the Minnesota Twins and the Cleveland Guardians. I am currently seeing, let me get back to my odd screen here for this game. I'm going to try to use less windows here. I think that's what's really tripping up my connection here. So I'm going to get on from my phone here and get you guys these starting pitchers for this game. 7:10 Eastern start. I'm seeing Simon Woods Richardson getting the start here for the Twins. It will be Tristan McKenzie for the Cleveland Guardians here. Guardians are a -122 home favorite, +102 on the money line for the Twins. Total is set at 8 in this game here. D-Rock, why don't you lead us off for this game while I make some adjustments here?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the Guardians here on the money line with Tristan McKenzie. I made him a -135 favorite. Twins, they've kind of cooled down, after having that huge winning streak the past week. 5-5 in their last 10. They just got swept by the Yankees. Now in a travel situation for them. Bats might be a little sluggish here in this game. And, I like backing the Guardians when at home. 12-6 straight on the year. And Tristan McKenzie is a much better pitcher at home than he is on the road. Just one bad start at home against the Yankees earlier back in April. Outside of that start, the Guardians have won every start he's made at home. He's only allowed 2 runs one time at home, 5+ strikeouts in 5 straight games. The walks can be an issue, but I mentioned it yesterday with Malcolm. The Twins are 24th in the league in walks per game, so that shouldn't be an issue. I'm going to fade Woods Richardson on the road here where he does struggle. He gives up a lot of more contact. So I'm going to take the Guardians here on the money line, -120.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you. Richard mentioned, right? Tristan McKenzie at home. And a lot of these pitchers, I don't know if it's coincidence or where the game is being called right now, but it walks to seem to be just a huge issue right now for a lot of these pitchers. So, and again, that just leads me to the Guardians here. I mean, this is going to be a big series between these two teams very early on. I know they're about, 43 to 44 games in, but it's going to be an important series, I think, if these two teams at the end of the season are battling for first place in the AL Central. And right now that's where it may just make a difference. It's early on in the series. So I think that I'm with you on the Guardians here. I'll take them on the money line, currently sitting at -122 over on DraftKings. Getting over to the next game on the board here, we'll go over to a 7:20 Eastern start. The San Diego Padres, they are in Atlanta to take on the Braves in this matchup. I am currently seeing Matt Waldron is going to get the start here for the Padres, and it is going to be Max Fried on the mound here for the Atlanta Braves. Looking at the lines for this game, the Braves are a -218 road home favorite. I'm sorry, +180 on the money line for the Padres here. Total is set at 8 in this game here. D-Rock, lead us off, my man.
Yeah, this game was tough to handicap in my opinion because I did favor the Braves up to a -190. So I feel like we're kind of almost there to the point where we could take the Padres, but I don't know if I could get there. The Padres have not played well when Waldron has been on the mound. They've lost 7 of his 8 starts, and most of the losses, to be honest, aren't even close. They just can't get him any run support. They've only scored more than 2 runs one time for Waldron this season. So more I talk about it, I kind of like the Padres team total under 3.5. Hopefully that we get that when lines come out. Fried, he's looked really good this season. Just his third start at home, surprisingly. But last time he pitched at home, pitched a complete game, just 3 hits given up, 0 runs, 0 walks. He struck out 6 batters. Padres, they're hitting under 200 against lefties on the year. So all in all, I do think this is a good matchup for the Braves. I do think the Padres are going to continue to struggle. I think this is a bad matchup for them. So when the team totals come out, I'm probably going to look towards the team total under for the Padres here.
Yeah, you can look at the opposite side as well, right? If you look at the Braves team total over as well, just because Waldron has been that bad for this Padres pitching rotation. His last start, he only allowed 2 earned runs to the Dodgers, but the bullpen came in and gave up another 3. They lost 5-0. Gave up 7 earned runs to the Diamondbacks, 11-4. They lost that game. Gave up 4 earned runs to the Reds in 6 innings. They lost that game 5-2. So I think the bats can get here early and often against Matt Waldron. And Max Fried, like you mentioned, has been really good. He just had that one bad start against the Dodgers, but who's not having a bad start against the Dodgers lately? He did give up 2 home runs in Dodger Stadium to the Dodgers. They lost that game 5-1, but like you mentioned, coming off of that shutout game in 7 innings against the Mets, and I do think that he can repeat that performance here against the San Diego Padres. So I would look at the the Braves team total over and the run line here for the right now. So you got even money over on DraftKings. Getting over to the next game on the schedule, we'll go to a AL West battle. The LA Angels, they are taking on the Rangers to start their weekend series here. I am currently seeing that it'll be Tyler Anderson on the mound here for the LA Angels, and it'll be Andrew Heaney on the mound here for the Texas Rangers here. Looking at the lines for this game here, D-Rock, I am Rangers a -180 home favorite, +150 on the money line for the Angels. Total is at 9 here, D-Rock. What do you think about the Angels and the Rangers?
Yeah, I love the value we're getting here with the run line with the Rangers. +130 at home against an Angel team who they just snapped their 3-game winning streak. I like that, but not the biggest fan of Tyler Anderson. The Angels have lost 3 of his 4 starts on the road this season. He's given up 3+ runs in 3 straight games as well. And this is going to be the best lineup he's going to face this season so far. I just don't think this is a good spot for him. And the Angels have the worst bullpen in the major. So even if Tyler Anderson does give you some 4 or 5, maybe even 6 innings, I don't trust that bullpen. My one worry in backing the Rangers is that the Halos do hit lefties pretty well, but Andrew Heaney, he's looked good as of late. Just 4 runs given up in 18 innings at home. So I think this is a good start for them. I trust the bats a little more, and with the bullpen coming in, Angels are a dumpster fire with that bullpen. So I'm going to take the run line here with the Rangers +130.
Yeah, he's bounced back pretty nicely, has Andrew Heaney in the month of May. That home ERA is a little bit inflated because he did face the Astros. The Astros have had a lot of success against Heaney in his career. He gave up 6 earned runs, but that was all the way back in his second start of the season back on April 8th against the Astros. But the walks, he hasn't allowed to walk over his last 4 starts, which is, again, a breath of fresh air to see, especially with all the walks that these pitchers have been given up. He's been able to give them some length as well. He's gone at least 5 innings in his last 5 starts. He's gone at least 6 innings in 3 of the last 5 starts as well. So I like what I've seen from him, shockingly. I think also do think there's a potential for runs here as well. Whether if you want to take the full game over 9 or if you want to look at some team totals here, I do think that we can see some runs being scored. I think majority of that may just come from the Rangers. So if you want to Rangers team total over, couldn't talk you off of that, but I would be on the run line here with the Rangers and over in 9 in this game here as well. All right, D-Rock, before we get over to the next game on the schedule, let me tell everyone about our friends over at Game Time. Hey, look, ticket and buying experience sometimes can be just so frustrating, right? We've all been there. We're trying to find tickets. We're sitting behind the computer when these tickets drop for some of these events, whether it's a sporting event, whether it is a comedy show, concert, whatever you're trying to get out to. There's some frustration behind it, but let Game Time take away that frustration, especially if you are looking for MLB season tickets, right? Because guess what? Game Time is now an authorized marketplace for MLB tickets, and they are going to make it a lot easier and a lot faster for you to get those MLB tickets. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down closer to first pitch, and with killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. The greatest thing that I love about their app, and I've personally used it so I can vouch for this, is that you actually can get a panoramic view of your seat before you actually get to that venue. And it's just not for an arena or stadium. No, it's also for those comedy show places. It can also be for a theater show that you're trying to get out to. And they also always have last-minute deals. You can save up to 60% off of buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, and much more. And they also have flash deals. Save even more with exclusive in-app deals on select seats ahead of the game or the event. And also the lowest price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. That's how confident they are in their prices. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets for Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, D-Rock, let's keep it rolling here, my man. We'll get over to the next game on the schedule. We'll go down to my part of the world. The Milwaukee Brewers are in town to take on the Astros in this matchup. Currently for this game, I'm seeing for the Brewers, it will be Freddie Peralta getting the start. And for the Astros, oh God, Hunter Brown is back for the Astros getting the start in this game. Astros are a home underdog, plus 102 in this game, minus 122 on the money line for the Brewers. Total is at 8.5 in this game here, D-Rock. I'll start here with Hunter Brown. I mean, if you've been following the Astros this season, you're probably getting a good kick of how atrocious this pitching rotation has been, led by Mr. Hunter Brown. Now, he has had 2 pretty good starts over his last 2 starts, which were 9 1/3, 10 hits allowed combined, 3 earned runs in that span, 12 strikeouts and 4 walks. So it's been a whole heck of a lot better prior to what was happening at the beginning of the season for Hunter Brown. But also you always run into the issue of how bad this bullpen is for the Houston Astros, D-Rock. And I'm not sure I can put my full faith right now in Hunter Brown, because you take a look at the last 2 starts, he went up against the Tigers and he went up against the Seattle Mariners. So I need to see more out of Hunter Brown before I can back him. The Astros have lost 4 of the last 5 starts that he has made for this team. Meanwhile, Freddie Peralta has been the complete opposite story for the Milwaukee Brewers on the season, 3-1 with 3.63 ERA. He has allowed 3 earned runs in back-to-back starts, and in fact, he's given up at least 3 earned runs in 4 of the last 5 starts. But the Brewers have been winning those games, and they've been able to give him the run support here as well. And he's, again, we know, a strikeout pitcher as well. So on the road, he's been pretty good. 5 starts, 2-1 with a 3.25 ERA. I'm gonna back the Brewers here, minus 122 on the money line. If you want to take a look at their over first 5 innings team total, if your book offers that, couldn't talk you off of that. Or if you want to go a full game as well, couldn't talk you off of that either. But Brewers for me before I can bet behind Hunter Brown here, D-Rock.
Yeah, give me when I took this, the Brewers were the dogs, so I don't even know how Hunter Brown was the favorite to open up. Yeah, I made him a minus 130 favorite, the Brewers. So give me the Brewers here. Hunter Brown, 0-4, 7.79 ERA. Bad start after bad start. Like you said, he has been a little better, but Freddie Peralta has actually pitched better on the road than at home this season. Brewers, they're the much better team. They play well on the road, 14-8 straight up. They have a top 5 bullpen in the National League. Their bats have been on fire. I think they put up double-digit runs yesterday. So Astros, they have, like you mentioned, their bullpen bottom 5 in the AL. Brewers, they hit righties really well, and I think they're going to destroy Hunter Brown. So, yeah, I take the short price here with the Brewers. I even lay them 1.5 as well.
All right, let's get over to the next game on the schedule. We'll go to the Detroit Tigers, if I can talk. They are headed to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks in this game, a 9:40 Eastern start for the Detroit Tigers. I'm currently seeing Tarek Skubal on the mound here for the Tigers. It'll be Ryan Nelson for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Looking at the lines for this game, the Tigers are a minus 155 road favorite here, plus 130 on the money line for the Diamondbacks. Total is at 8 in this game here, D-Rock. What do you think about Tigers and the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, as much as the D-backs have had success against lefties, I do think this is going to be a lower scoring game. Small lean towards the under 8. I made my total 7.6. Tariq Skubal, he's been amazing on the road this season. Just 2 runs given up in 18 innings. Batters only hitting a $185 off of him. All 3 of his starts on the road have gone under this number. I just don't expect the Tigers to unload on Ryan Nelson either. They haven't scored a run in 2 straight games. I think we're going to see a lower scoring game here. So under 8, it would be the lean here.
Yeah. It's the fact that I can't trust the Tigers bats, right? Like, because Ryan Nelson is a guy that you can tee off on. And we saw that last season at his home splits that he wasn't very good on the road, and especially wasn't good at Chase Field in Arizona. And I think that's translated a little bit this season as well. But he does have a 2-0 record at home in 3 starts, but he does have a 5.93 ERA. And he's going to give up a lot of contact as well. But the question then becomes, can you trust the Tigers offense to take advantage of that? And I'm not so sure I can see that. And like you mentioned, Tarek Skubal has been absolutely amazing thus far this season, especially on the road for the Detroit Tigers. So I would lean towards the under 8 here as well. That minus 155 is a little price hefty for me, especially for the Tigers, even if it is Skubal on the road here. But it is Skubal starting for the Tigers here. So give me the under in this game here as well. There's probably some 8.5s out there. Definitely shop around. But I think right now DraftKings has an 8 up. Let me just check FanDuel here real quick because I think they had an 8.5 earlier. Yeah, definitely shop around because there are some 8.5s out there for sure. 2 games left here, D-Rock, that we have lines for. We'll get over to the Cincinnati Reds. They are in Dodger Stadium to take on the Dodgers in this game here. Currently seeing the starting pitchers for this game. The Cincinnati Reds will be throwing out Frankie Montas, and for the Dodgers, it will be James Paxton. Looking at the lines for this game, Dodgers are a minus 218 home favorite, plus 180 on the money line for the Cincinnati Reds. Total is set at 9 in this game here. D-Rock, Reds and Dodgers. What do you have?
Yeah, as long as we're able to get some plus money with the Dodgers on the run line, that's where I'll go with this game. You know, these 2 teams, they're just going in opposite directions. Reds, they can't buy a win right now. Dodgers, 7-3 in their last 10, 1 win away from 30. 24 of their 29 wins have come by 2 or more runs. And Frankie Montas is just a complete fade on the road for me. 4+ runs given up in back-to-back road starts where the Reds just got demolished. I just don't know where the runs are going to come from, especially against Paxton, who has looked good this season. 2-0 at home, 2.16 ERA, just 4 runs given up in 16 innings. Shohei Ohtani is absolutely just crushing the ball right now. Honestly, the whole lineup is swinging the bat really well. At home, if they're going to give you a plus money price with the Dodgers on the run line, I have to take it. So Dodgers run line for me.
Yeah, I love the Dodgers team total over in this game here as well. I think they could get to him early and often. You mentioned Frankie Montas, 3 starts on the road, 7.30 ERA. He's allowed 10 earned runs and just 12 and 2/3 innings pitched. Excuse me, on the road. The Reds have lost 4 of the last 5 starts that he has made. 4 of those losses, 3 of those 4 losses have come by multiple runs by the opposition. And I think that this is an opportunity where the Dodgers bat are just very, very hot right now. Like you mentioned, right? Ohtani, the way that he's swinging the bat, Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman. This just goes on and on for this Dodgers team. So I think they'll be able to get to Montas here early. And you take those 4 losses in the last 5 starts that he's made for the Cincinnati Reds, D-Rock, the opposition has scored at least 6 runs in those games. And a lot of that has come from Frankie Montas, but also how bad this bullpen has been for the Cincinnati Reds as well. So Dodgers team total over and the run line here for me as well.
Munaf, real quick, I think we missed one game. It was the Boston Red Sox and St. Louis Cardinals.
Okay, let me see if let me go to, because I know DraftKings right now doesn't have that game up, but let me check FanDuel because I think FanDuel may have had it up. FanDuel's been doing a pretty good job of.
Yeah, they have been. Last year it was DraftKings. Now it's FanDuel.
Yeah, as well. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, we can go back to that game. Yeah. All right. So let's go back to the Cardinals and the Red Sox here. So the Red Sox will be visiting the St. Louis Cardinals in this game here. I am seeing, and correct me if I'm wrong here, D-Rock, but I do see Brian Bello for the Red Sox, and I'm seeing Kyle Gibson for the St. Louis Cardinals. Is that what you have?
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right, perfect. All right, so the lines for this game, the Red Sox are road favorite here, -112, -104 on the money line for the St. Louis Cardinals. Total is set at 8 in this game here. D-Rock, why don't you lead us off for this game?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a stab here with the Red Sox on the money line. I know my numbers only made them a -110 favorite, but still at -112, I do think they're the right side. I'll eat the 2 cents. Still fading the Cardinals here. Only time I like backing them this season is with Sonny Gray on the mound. Kyle Gibson, he's been okay, but he does give up a lot of hard contact at home than on the road. Walks, I think that's the theme of the podcast today. Walks are an issue with him as well. 2+ walks in 6 straight games. So maybe look towards a walk prop for Kyle Gibson if it isn't chalky. But Brian Bello, he's been great on the road. The Red Sox have won every game he started on the road. He's only gone past the 5th inning one time this season. But the Red Sox, they have a really good bullpen this year. They have the better lineup. I think they'll be able to get to Kyle Gibson, especially when you start walking batters against a good lineup like the Red Sox. That's not a good recipe. So I'm going to take the Red Sox here on the road, -112.
Yeah, Red Sox have been actually a pleasant surprise thus far this season. I was absolutely wrong about this team going into the season. I thought the starters were going to be a concern, but they have absolutely overperformed thus far this season. Excuse me. Hopefully they're able to maintain that for the rest of the season here. But again, they're off to a pretty good start, especially in a division in that AL East where I was honestly expecting them to be either finish dead last or be second to last in that division. I mean, you mentioned, right? Brian Bello has been great for this Red Sox starting rotation, 4-1 with a 3.13 ERA. Not really a big strikeout guy, but he hasn't walked a lot of batters. Actually, I'm sorry. In 5 starts, he has walked 9 guys. He's at least 2 walks in 4 straight starts, but the Red Sox have won 4 of the 5 starts that he has made thus far this season. And, for Kyle Gibson, I just don't trust him. You mentioned the walks. That's our concern. And I think I think that for him, he's been a little bit fortunate that some of these teams that he has faced haven't really been able to take advantage of the walks that he's issued. I think the Red Sox can take advantage of that. So I think you're getting a pretty good price here on the Red Sox, in my eyes, with the better pitcher and as well with Brian Bello on the mound. So Red Sox money line for me as well. Let's get over to the last game of the night that does have lines for us. That is going to be the Colorado Rockies. They are in San Francisco to take on the Giants. Ryan Feltner on the mound here for the Colorado Rockies, and it'll be Kyle Harrison on the mound here for the for the Giants. Looking at the lines for this game, I'm currently seeing the Giants are a minus 172 home favorite, plus 144 for the Colorado Rockies. Total is set at 7.5 in this game here. D-Rock, you want to lead us off?
Yeah, I'm going to go with another total. I'm not going to choose a side on this one. I got a 7 at minus 114. Even at a 7.5, I still like the over. I made my total 8.1. I think we could see some runs in this game with Harrison and Faulkner on the mound. Faulkner, he has not been good on the road this season. 1-3 with a 5.90 ERA. 19 runs given up in 29 innings. Batters hitting almost 300 off of him. Not to mention, the Rockies have gone over this total in Faulkner's last 7 starts, home or on the road. So he's involved in a lot of high-scoring games. And surprisingly enough, the Rockies have rattled off 7 wins in a row, and those 7 wins, they're averaging 6 runs per game. They're going to be able to score on Harrison, at least 4 or 5 runs. Harrison, he's allowed 3 runs in his last 3 home starts this season. We're going to have 10-mile-an-hour winds blowing out into center field tomorrow night in the Bay Area. So I love the over tomorrow night.
I really like the Giants here in the spot here as well. I mean, you mentioned, right, Ryan Feltner has been absolutely atrocious, especially on the road. 1 in 5 starts, 5.90 ERA, 19 earned runs allowed in 29 innings. He had a good start against the Rangers. I'll give him credit for that. But outside of that, it's just been really bad. I mean, for this Rockies team, especially when Feltner's on the mound. Kyle Harrison did face the Rockies earlier this season. 7 shutout innings. He only allowed 4 hits in that game. So, and that wasn't too long ago. It was back on May 7th against this Rockies team, actually in Colorado. So that speaks a little bit of volumes to me, especially in Coors Field, that if you're able to pitch that well. And now you're going home at a very pitcher-friendly ballpark where I can see similar success rate here as well. So depending on what this, minus 1.5 run line for the Giants right now at plus 126 over on FanDuel. That's very appealing to me in this game. I can see like a 6-2 final here for the Giants in this game. So give me the Giants run line. Minus 1.5 plus 126 currently over on FanDuel. All right, that is the last game of the Friday card that we do have lines for. Let's get in to our lock and dog here, D-Rock. Before we do wrap up the episode here, you want to lead us off?
Yes, sir. I'll start with my lock, and it was the game we just talked about. It's the over. I do agree. I think the Giants should really get to Faulkner tomorrow. He's just, like we said, just to reiterate everything, he's been atrocious on the road. We got a lot of wins in a hitter-friendly ballpark. I think we're going to see a lot of runs tomorrow. So love the over there, in whether you could get a 7 or a 7.5 in that Rockies-Giants game. So I'm going to take the over there. As my dog, I really wanted to just take the Dodgers, but it's a cheap price at 105 or even money right now I'm seeing. So price has dropped. Let's see. I feel like I haven't given out a lot of plus money. Oh, there you go. Give me the Rangers. There you go. Rangers on the run line plus 130 against the Angels. Yeah, I just love the value here we're getting. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Tyler Anderson. The Angels, they've lost 3 of his last 4 starts on the road. He gives up harder contact on the road as well. And this is going to be his toughest lineup he's faced to date. So I do think the Rangers, this is a good spot for them at home. I think we'll see some runs because I do think Angels hit lefties pretty well. But Andrew Heaney, he has performed a little better this season recently. So I'm going to take a stab here with the Rangers on the run line. Hopefully at home they could get it done. But plus 130 for the Rangers as my dog.
All right. For my lock, I think I'm going to the both West Coast games here as well. For my lock and dog. Give me the Dodgers run line here, man. Minus 1.5, minus 105. I think they get to Frankie Montas early and often in this game. Couldn't talk you off a team total over for the Dodgers as well. That number is probably be at a posted at a 5 maybe in this game. If you're able to 4.5, that's great. But I do think that they'll be able to win by multiple runs in this game, especially how we talked about how Frankie Montas has been absolutely atrocious on the road for the Cincinnati Reds. And James Paxton has had a lot of success as well for this Dodgers team. Backed by that offense, I think you're always going to give yourself a chance to win. But he's been pitching very well as well for the Dodgers. So I'll take the Dodgers run line -1.5, -105 as my lock. For my dog, I'll take the Giants run line as well, -1.5, +126. We talked about how bad Ryan Feltner has been. I think that most of the run scoring will come for the Giants in this game. Could see them getting north of 5 runs here easily. 6-2, 7-2 type of final here. I do think they win by multiple runs here. I know I'm backing both teams on the run line. From teams, they don't get all 9 at bats, but it's just really fading how bad these two pitchers have been for the opposition. So I will take that as my lock-in dog again. Dodgers run line -1.5, -105, and then the Giants run line -1.5, +126 as my dog price for this episode. All right, that's going to wrap it up here for this edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast. D-Rock, anything else you want to mention before we get out of here?
No, just big weekend. NBA playoffs, big game tomorrow for the Knicks. Preakness got the 149th edition of Preakness, so that's interesting as well. So yeah, locked and loaded for this weekend, and yeah, baseball. We're gonna continue to roll out episodes.
Yeah, big weekend of sports. Obviously with playoffs for NHL and for NBA, MLB all season long. We also got the PGA Championship going on as well for golf. So a lot of sports happening right now, of course, in the world. So again, make sure you guys bet responsibly. And again, hopefully we did find some more winners here for the Friday card for you guys to put in your pockets. Apologies about my microphone connection there. Hopefully we can get that issue fixed here sooner rather than later. All right, we'll be back tomorrow in some form or fashion with our host for the MLB pod. So look out for us then. Till then, good luck with your bets. Let's break these books off and let it ride.